Hi, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Now, this is the overview, and I will be reading for September 28th through October 4th. I am a little late. I normally post these on Monday, but I did have to do something yesterday, so I will be posting them today and probably tomorrow because my schedule's just been very busy lately. Anyway, I want to remind you that these are general readings, may or may not resonate, so take what you like, leave the rest. I'm an intuitive channeler, if I haven't said that. I consider that as I open myself, I ask Jesus, Holy Spirit, God, whatever the people need to hear, let that come through. Now, I want to remind you all that I do post on Rumble, YouTube, and TikTok, so this is for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Cards we're going to be using, of course, I'm going to be using my Radley Valentine decks. This is my sort of light Michael Oracle cards. These are my tarot decks. This is my, what is this? My Angel Wisdom cards, and this is my my Power Archangel Power Tarot cards. I will also be pulling one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Again, I've prayed, meditated, infused all the decks with Reiki energy. So let's see what we've got. But again, too, and I don't know if I've said this I've said it so many times on other videos that never quite sure if I said it today. Remember that these are general readings, may or may not resonate, so take what you like and leave the rest. All right, let's go on into that one site that I do like to look at because it gives you pretty good information. And this helps if I put my glasses on. This is the-astrologer.net. Now, to just kind of a little recap, we have gone into Libra season. Actually, I am doing this on the 23rd. So we are the 22nd. We entered into Libra season. We had the, the fall equinox. If you're living in the Northern Hemisphere, we're also having the Jewish New Year. We have a lot of Libra, like opposing Neptune in Aries. It's connecting with Uranus and Gemini, Pluto and Aquarius. And that's going to be more on the 24th. Mars has entered into Scorpio, which will be squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Now, it's been interesting because there's been a lot of talk about the 24th. Something's supposed to happen, and I could see that the energies are very strongly inclined to push for something to happen, but we will see. Remember, we have the opportunity, we have the obligation in many ways to pray and to meditate and to lift our light up to counter any of the darkness that may come through. October. So then, while we don't necessarily see any major changes, there is still a lot of energy going through. We have a bunch of planets in retrograde, and while we have Saturn is in right now retrograding in Pisces, we do have Neptune, heading towards that Piscean place. Okay. And it's at 0 with Aries, so it will soon be moving into Pisces too. Not quite yet, though. So we do have, I want to go through this just a little bit, just to give an overview. Scorpio is the new future to the sun in Libra. We'll see what that all happens. We have a bunch, Mercury squaring with Pluto. We have a full moon coming in Aries. And again, Aries will be opposing whatever is in Libra right now. So we'd look at that a little bit, but Pluto goes direct on the 14th. Let's see, what else do we want to say? New moon in Libra on the 21st of October. And I'm looking for when does Neptune enter into Pisces? So maybe it looks like either the end of October or the beginning of November. So what he has said is this year's sun in Libra will be unusually fascinating. 2 sets of energies will ensure things happening naturally. So planets in the air signs will be forming grand trines. Planets in the air sign, everyone will be on your wavelength. Now he says September 19th to the 29th of October, no planets are in fire sign, but I actually, oh, well, actually, it's October 22nd, I think, that that Neptune, I thought it was October 22nd that Neptune went into Pisces. So we do have Neptune in Aries for a good portion of that. So let's see. Sun in Libra will be the 22nd of September to the 23rd of October. We have Mercury in Libra until the 6th of October, then going into Scorpio. We have Venus until the November, October 13th to November 5th. Uranus, yes, Uranus is in Gemini. Now that's going to be moving. I think that's more in November. And until the 8th of November. Then it goes back into Taurus. And here we go. Neptune is retrograde in Aries. It will go into, it looks like it goes into Pisces on the 22nd. So let's see what else he might say. Planets. He had some things that I thought was interesting. We have the Jewish New Year, going on actually right now. There's other holidays or high holidays in this time too. Astrologers, this is what a good astrologer is to help you to look forwards. Guidance to brighter and happier future should never be doom and gloom, because wherever there is life, there is hope. Okay? Divine truths of endings and beginnings, and also meaningful facets of your life. So we go into this Jewish New Year, 5786. Okay? Goes into some gematria. Says breaking karmic cycles. And remember too, we are going into that time where the veil is extremely thin. And now he talks a lot about the divine God constantly creating life and energy. So I'm saying he did a little bit more for this time, for this September to October. Destructive, evil, selfish idiots will attempt to destroy lives, and also man-made toxins will attempt to destroy lives. Selfish, evil, rotten souls live at the expense of other lives too. So he asked some questions. Have you noticed where flash floods happen? And he says that Libra in itself is the sign of getting it right, a sign of changing minds. God's timetable is the logic of understanding astrology, and talks a little bit more about it. I'm trying to find, there was something I thought was very, very interesting in here, and I'm not finding it. Everything that urgently needs changing will have changed. Hence, the sun in Libra, you will be delighted you made these changes. So talks a little more about Libra, the logical star sign of yeses and nos, being older and wiser. Let's see. God's Libra message says, love what's good for you. And God's Libra message says, let go of the toxic bad. So it's delivered choices to make between the good and bad. So Libra, he is saying, is really looking at what is good, what is bad, and making the choice of what you want to follow. Okay? So let's see, is this it? Maybe I saw it somewhere else, but I thought I saw it here. Water signs bond to all water, and that's true. And so your identity is actually defined by whatever you drink. Good health is created by whatever you drink. So he is talking about, taking in the water. Okay, so Mercury in Scorpio, October 6th to the 29th. Mars in Scorpio, the 22nd of September to November 4th. Saturn retros into Pisces. We know that August 31st to February 22nd. And Neptune, this is another thing, Neptune retrogrades to Pisces October 22nd into January of 2026. And of course, Jupiter, June 2025 to July 2027. 27. All right, so let's see. Back on track. So this year's sun in Libra will be unusually strong. And 5 planets in the water signs need you to be connected, free will choices. All right, so there's a lot going on. I'm not finding what I wanted to find, except, okay, we have 4 planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, all in retrograde. And the only solutions available, reconnection. Problems will be via people you trust and people who trust you. All right, so, okay, I guess that's really what I wanted to tell you. There's more to it. I would suggest looking at it. He's not, like I said, with that thing about the fire signs, nothing in the fire signs. Well, we have, like I said, we have Neptune in Aries until that 22nd. So there's just a whole lot. Pluto in Aquarius. Well, I'm always interested in Pluto. So Pluto in Aquarius will create new opportunities. Pluto in Aquarius, detachment from negativity and worrying. Uranus in Gemini, electric excitement in relationships, genuine happiness in relationships. So okay, we'll go with that. Let me go back here. So, not, that's pretty much what they said. I thought there was, maybe I covered it, maybe I didn't, but I would go and take a look at what they have. Anyway, okay. So that's an overview of what's going on in Libra season, and there's going to be a lot as we get closer to Scorpio season, a lot of the planets are entering into Scorpio. So we won't go into that next time so much, but just wanted to show you. Anyway, remember, I do pray over my cards, and I do pray that whatever comes out and comes through is good and truthful for you, or at least for somebody out there. And that's the thing that I know. I do get many people saying that, the message was for them. And I really thank you for that validation. Okay, let's see. Michael, what is it that you want to say to people? Like I said, when I don't watch other people's videos, but I do read about, I love reading things. And the 24th, and again, I told you something with the 18th, so I would say 18th, give or take a couple of days. There would be some interesting things in the news, and there have been some interesting things in the news. And there's been a lot of people saying things, anything like rapture. And again, we know not the date or time, but there are people saying even the rapture will be on the 24th. So I'm not saying that, because like I said, we know not the date or time. But the 24th is supposed to have something, very, big. We don't, there's been a lot of spiritual revival, and I have said this before. It is like, the wheat and the chaff being separated out, and we've been seeing it more and more. So let's see what Michael might say. Michael, what do you want to say to the people out there? What do you want to say to the people out there? Anything in particular? You will, but what is it? Here we go. Michael. Make a decision. Okay, and look we have the scales. The scales very much related to Libra season. We have the heart being weighed against the feather. Now that's a little bit on the Egyptian side, right? Isn't that the Egyptian or the Greek side? Both of those had the Egyptian, I believe, but I thought the Greek too, weighing your heart against the feather. Are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you to your own joy. You deserve it. Okay. Let's see. Make a decision. What are you choosing? I would say that it's not just towards your own joy. I'm just saying it's choosing what between right and wrong, good and evil. It's choosing which path you're going to go on. It's choosing whether, you speak or you don't speak. There's a lot of choices going on, especially right now. Okay, let's see. Higher power, Holy Spirit, what would you like to say? What would you like to say? Using my angel wisdom cards. And I do love these cards. 1, 2, 3. 3 cards. This one's reversed. I can, with the lighter color, figured it out finally. And, the dreamer, a new beginning, a new start. Now again, like I'm doing this on the 23rd, so we do have that new year happening. The dreamer connected with Metatron, 00 is God's source energy. The dreamer, anything is possible. You're being pulled the world is being pulled in a direction where anything is possible, anything can happen. We don't really know. We have to have faith. We have to have that leap of faith. All of these things can be associated with the dreamer in itself. Metatron is believed to be Enoch, lived, breathed, born, walked, talked with God before the flood, and then was transfixed into the heavens, as far as we know. So, or as what we have been told. So the dreamer, a new start. Trust yourself. Push your fears away and take a leap of faith. I'm always talking about, that fear is one of the tools of the devil that tries to keep you from your blessings and tries to keep you from trying. Now, I'm not saying that you go and, go jump out of a plane without a parachute or anything like that. We have to be reasonable. We have to be logical. But there are some times that God is giving you something in your heart and you just know it is right. Now, we do have to pray on whether it's wishful thinking or whether it's our intuition or it's our answer to our prayers. So we do have to pray on it. But sometimes, like when I started doing this, it was basically a leap of faith. And just kind of say, okay, God, I'm trusting you to take care of my needs and maybe some of my wants as I take this leap of faith. So something is happening, changes are occurring. 4 of water. So now the 4 is stability, organization, and leadership. Water is our Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. And we just said, there is Pisces, there's Scorpio energy going on, and there is Cancerian energy going on. Archangel Chamuel, it is connected to the major arcana card, which is the Hanged Man, or a new paradigm, or looking at things differently. Now, the 4 of Cups is always, to me, it's an interesting card. Well, they're all interesting in itself. The 4 of Cups is kind of like you're in between, kind of like you've been in the wild. You've been having a wilderness time. You're in the middle of the fallow period, as my mother would like to say. And always would be like, what is that? I don't want to be in a fallow period. I just want to know, do I have a date for Friday? But she, said I was always very hard for her to read because I was in a state of preparation. So here is a state of preparation in many ways. So here you look at the person, he's looking at his 4 cups. He's got some fruit around him, so there is, there is provision for him, but he's not necessarily happy with what he's got. I don't know if he's really unhappy, but he's just kind of stuck. He's stuck in a moment. He's stuck, doesn't want to quite let go of the past, doesn't want to quite go into the future. He's stuck. And again, like my mom would say, he's probably in a fallow period. But then there is an angel behind him holding a new cup, a new opportunity for him. He needs to make the decision. Do I choose to look around? Do I choose to take that cup? Do I choose to be unstuck? All right. So, and sometimes the energies are so, that they're like, no, you're supposed to stay here for a while. But this card is saying there's some choices to be made. And again, that would go make a decision. Failing to recognize a magical opportunity, missing the point. The distractions of daily life, discontentment or boredom, lost in your own world. Wake up. Next card is, okay. This is a 1, new beginning, new start. This is air energy, and that's Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So we're in Libra season. We have Uranus in Gemini. We have Pluto in Aquarius. We heard that, both Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius can be used for good changes. This is thought processes, thinking things through, making plans, kind of get the sword in the stone, Arthurian legends type of thing. Does he pull the stone, but it's cold out at the same time, but yet he's bundled. He doesn't look like he's necessarily being affected by the cold. So again, thought processes, thinking things through, making plans. Also could be about hearing news. So ones are always new beginnings, and it's about a new start, a new project. Could be very emotional, could be a very intellectual. Air is more the intellectual energies too. And look I love that even though that it's snowing out, there is still a butterfly that somehow has survived. Okay, oops, here we go. This is Chamuel again here. And this is again connected to the Hanged Man and or the Awakening. I mean, these cards all have different names for many, but the Hanged Man tells us to look at things differently. This one tells us we have to look at things differently. This one tells us we have to look at things differently. This one is telling there is a new beginning. There is a new start. Have a leap of faith. But then both of these cards are saying you're stuck in the past. You have to look at things a little differently to make that move. And this one says you're also, that you need to kind of reset your brain, reset your mind, look at the opportunities and be challenged at the same time. Brilliant ideas that may need refinement, overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate dearly and concisely. Remain objective. So, so don't be overly emotional. And I'm not saying that you not be caring, but don't be overly emotional as things are going around. Look at things a little bit clearer. And again, the Hanged Man in both of those cards, and Shemuel, I'm not really up on Shemuel's meanings or what Shemuel actually represents. Maybe somebody out there can look for me. But it is about looking at it. It's not quite the way it seems. Okay, things aren't the way they seem. All right, a new paradigm. Now these two cards fall out. We have the Four of Raphael, which is the Four of Water. So we have validation for this. Here we go. We see her. She's got her shells. He's bringing the new shell. He's transparent. So there is, you have to really look to see him. Seek out other possibilities. Look for the magic in life. Be aware of your own emotions. So then we have, be aware of your emotions. And then we have the Queen of Michael, whose underlying energy is water, and the overlying energy is also air, who actually says, be objective. Kind of like you have to put your emotions aside. Not to say you cannot be caring or loving, but you need to put your emotions to the side, okay? The Queen of Michael is the Queen of Air, Queen of Swords. She is brilliant, self-reliant, insightful, and humorous. Okay, you know exactly what to do. The benefit of experience, a time for your career rather than relationships. So we have these two. This is validation on this one. And, stop living in the past, get unstuck. And then we have this one, new exciting things, new exciting mental challenges, brilliant ideas. And then we have, what to do. And just basically you have to keep, I'm not saying table the emotions, but you have to be a little more logical than emotional. Okay. Okay. So let's go on and see. Again, that dreamer is very, very big. And then Michael's card says make a decision also. So let's see. Crystal or energy for people, or just the world in itself. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Right, here we go. Reversed again. Blue lace agate. Kindness, good communication, peaceful outcomes, love, and marriage. So I do have my bracelets here. I have a whole bunch of bracelets. I do love my bracelets. I have my bracelets here. We'll see if I pull any of these out. And if I do, I will put them on. Okay, so there is a new start. We are headed for something new. We are headed for, maybe some of us will unstick. Some of us will move forward. We have to stay a little bit more on the logical side as opposed to the emotional side. We are in very interesting times. We will see what that 24th, I'm as curious as you, but I also will say that a lot of people, a lot of very much more educated astrologers. I do not consider myself an astrologer, but a lot of very educated people in that field feel like the 24th something's happening. We'll see. Like I said, we know not the date or the time. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, please remember to do the likes, the shares, all of that good stuff. Wherever you're watching me, I am posting again on Rumble, YouTube, and TikTok. as always, let's end as always how we always end. Always remember that you are loved. Stay shining. Be blessed. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.